And welcome back, Tom Abraham Show on location at the Fleming Roofing and Restoration High School Media Day. Drew Darman hanging out with me here. We are on the couch. Those of you that are watching on WZZN TV, we're on the couches, I should say. Couches. I don't want to say that we're just like Drew and I are hanging out on a couch. You know what I mean? That sounds bad. But we're at the SportsMed Stadium Club. And as we continue our media day here and rocketing through, we're taking you right till 3 o'clock. We're going to take the first hour of Paul Feinbaum and cover that up as well to get all our teams in. But joining us now, this is, without question, Drew, the best dressed group here. I mean, let's just give that away. Fred Ferrier taking over as head football coach at Hazel Green. His dudes came in with jackets on and styling, man, looking good. And I gotta say, Coach, kudos to you for that, man. I mean, that's a look good, play good type of thing, respect. And I appreciate that. And I think that was something that you maybe trying to instill a little bit with this group as you take over.
As I take over here, I think there's just one way to do things, and that's just do it the right way, do it to the best of your ability. We all watch SEC Media Days. When you see Coach DeBoer, Coach Saban, Coach Freeze, when they go up on the podium at Media Day, they got on a suit and tie. Mm-hmm. So, we want our guys to have an opportunity to play college football. They hopefully can go to Media Day one day. They're going to interview for jobs, and they're going to show up with a shirt and tie on, and this is no different. This is the first opportunity for people in the Huntsville area to see us together to represent Hazel Green High School. We're going to be first class in everything we do. Our guys are going to work hard. We're going to play fast. We're going to play physical, and we're going to be fundamental. So it starts with how you walk in the door and impressions that you make on people.
That's an important part of it, too. I remember, when 1986, I had my first coaching job, and first thing the head coach said is that we are teachers. And I didn't even think about it. I just thought, I'm a football coach, And he said, no, we are teachers. And when I got to college, you're the same as a professor. And so that part of it, right, being a teacher, basically, and then that's your classroom out there. And hopefully you got a kid that goes on and plays in college, does whatever. But, I mean, you are teaching them for life skills, right?
You are absolutely 100% correct. The reality of what we do, a lot of people get caught up in the score. But the reality of what we do is we are preparing young people for life. And we're using football as a tool to teach those life lessons. In our environment, in a regular work environment, you get evaluated one time a year. You may get a corrective action plan, but we get evaluated every 7 days. And we're going to have 4,000 or 5,000 people out there putting a grade on our performance, and we get 7 days to correct it. So, we're going to use practice and all of that kind of stuff as kind of your classroom time. Practice and meetings is your classroom time. And every Friday night at 7 o'clock is the test. You're going to pass the test or you're going to fail the test. And when you don't have the success that you want, we got to find a way to get it corrected so that the next 7 days we can perform better and we can get a better grade on our test. And, we got to find a way to make some passing grades. We want everybody to make excellence the expectation and shoot for A's and B's, not C's and D's.
Well, Coach, I know you were the last 5 years at Alabama A&M recruiting coordinator, running backs coach. What made you want to take this Hazel Green job, rebuild this program, and go to the high school level?
So I was really excited about the opportunity to kind of get into high school football. I've never looked at that opportunity. I've always enjoyed being in college, and I enjoyed the Huntsville area, and some people have recommended that I apply for a couple jobs, and I was a little bit ready for a change. I had been at Alabama A&M for 5 years, and the Hazel Green opportunity was a great challenge. I got an opportunity to interview for the job. The administrative team of Dr. Quinn Hedden and the athletic director, Derek Jackson, have been super helpful and super gracious through this process, and it just appealed as a place that I could make an impact. We could put a program and a structure in place that could contribute to some success. And our kids have been super so far. And, we're trying to do what we call flip the dirt and get ready for this next harvest. And hopefully the 24 season will be better for us.
Go ahead, Drew.
Well, I was going to get the two young men who made the trip with you. They are very well dressed as well, and we're going to have them introduce themselves. First, right in front of me, just introduce yourself, give your number and your year in school, and let everybody know what position you play.
I'm quarterback. I'm Austin Berry. I'm going into the 11th grade, and yep.
And so talk about taking on the reins as being QB1 in your junior year, being kind of the engine behind the offense. Talk about going into the season, your expectations, and what it's been like for Coach Ferrier taking over.
It's been great. My teammates and coaches have trusted in me and to, get the job. I have a different level of confidence going into this season than, previous seasons. And I feel like that, this season is different. I've understood the offense 10 times, better. I go home and study every single night, and, I'm really excited to play.
And now we have also another young man. I believe he's a rising senior, but let everybody know your name and your number and what position you play.
My name is Vaughn Harkless. I'm a rising senior, like you said, 12th grade. I play defensive back.
And then talk about being a big part of the defense. It's your senior season, so obviously you're going to be a leader for Coach Ferrier, but what's your expectation going into this season?
My expectation, like he says, every single day, make excellence the expectation. I look forward to my teammates doing great every single year, every single day.
Guys, talk about the impact that coach has made. Getting a guy in that's got experience as a college football coach. I mean, that's got to make you feel good that he wanted the job. He wanted to be with you guys. But what's it been like, having a guy that's got college football chops, coaching you guys and kind of organizing things, because college coaches do things a little bit differently.
It's been tremendous. I've been pushed to a different level than I've ever had before. And I feel like going into the season that, I've worked harder, I've worked better. And, as a team, we put things together differently, and we're different. We're just different. And the whole organization is different than, ever. And I feel like that it's not necessarily like different, like in a bad way, but it's different, like in every little thing, every little detail counts and every little detail matters.
Yeah. Talk about it a little bit yourself.
Yeah, like my teammate said, it's definitely more challenging than you would catch with a high school coach. He's definitely putting us into perspective as men instead of, high school kids. He's really driving us to be something, towards after high school, like you said, when we came in here, we come in here best dressed, like it's a job interview. Mm-hmm. We come here, we mean business.
Coach Ferrier, talk a little bit about it from your standpoint, because you got the college guys. It's a different mindset. When you're coaching the college kid, obviously, it's like we got another one that looks just like you. If you don't do it, the job, you're taking an 18 to 22-year-old type of man. And now you've got 14-year-old kids in the room with you, 15-year-old kids in the room, and your expectation maybe has to change a little bit to, get to gear that. You're dealing with different kind of emotions and so on. So just talk about what it's been like dealing with the youngins as opposed to, young men.
It's been a little bit of a transition. As a college coach, the kids that we recruit and the kids that we bring into our programs have came through high school programs. So a lot of times when I would go into a high school to recruit, you go in and you say, hey, give me your 4 best guys. You got 100 people on your team. Some of these kids can't play college football. Some of them aren't mentally prepared. Some of them don't have a support structure. Just give me your 4 best guys. Those are the only guys that I want to talk to. Well, now I'm on the beginning stages of that. So now I actually feel like it's my job to better prepare my young men to where more young men will have an opportunity to achieve success in high school, to feel better about themselves every day, to feel confident to be able to go get a job if they have to go into the workforce. And then if they are fortunate enough to play at the college level, to have more young men who are better prepared to play college football walking in the door, to where when college coaches come back and they talk to these guys, they go, man, these guys were well prepared. They knew what to do. They came in here. They knew to come to a meeting with a pen and pad. They knew to come in here with a collared shirt on. They knew certain things that are going to now translate to them having success in other facets of their life. And I actually feel like it's now my responsibility to prepare these guys for what's next. Now, the immediate part of that is translate that into winning football games where we are, to being a better member of the community in the Hazel Green community, to being able to get out and convince people to come support our football team on Friday nights with the game experience that we put in play on Friday nights at 7:00. So,
well, I know in the Cotton Bowl they come out, that's for sure, because I was doing the Buckhorn game last year in the Cotton, and man, that powder was flying everywhere. I couldn't see, I couldn't breathe, and everything else. You got to have that atmosphere every night. It would be great to be able to have that all the time. But man, they sure get up for that game.
Absolutely. So, we absolutely know that the Buckhorn game is a big rivalry game, but our first opportunity is going to be against Huntsville High on August 23rd. So, we got our guys trying to focus on that. We'll try to play them one at a time. But at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to get these kids to prepare to play to their best ability every single opportunity that we get. And if we can do that one game at a time, I think we'll have an opportunity to be successful.
Well, Coach, I mean, going in, I know you're trying to change the culture. You want to establish a winning program at Hazel Green. And how was the reception of the kids? Did you decide to have a spring? How did you handle the offseason? And where are you numbers-wise?
So we did have spring practice. I wanted to have spring practice. I wanted to see what our guys were capable of. I didn't want to just do kind of the OTA practices to get an extra week and then see our kids play for the first time full speed in August. So we got our 10 practices in. We tried to time it up around baseball season and track season because we got kids playing other sports. But we got the vast majority of our team. We finished spring practice with 125 kids on the roster.
Wow.
We were recruiting kids in the hallways, and we're like, hey, you look like you can play football, come play football. And we're grabbing kids in the cafeteria and walking in the school door in the mornings and walking them to their cars at night saying, hey, come play football. And over the course of the summer, we've had pretty steady attendance right in the 80 to 90 range. And a lot of kids have to work in the summertime, just the family dynamic. So we understand that. And I think our numbers are a little bit higher, and we'll be hovering right around the 110, 120 range. And hope, Hazel Green is a growing community. So
it is.
Next year we're going to have a ton more kids come from 8th grade. Hopefully we'll be able to field a freshman football team. So we'll have hopefully 3 teams next year, freshman, JV, and varsity. And we'll be recruiting in the hallways, trying to convince all those big guys who don't play football to come on out there and play football.
Well, Austin and Vaughn, first I'll say, Austin, what is your expectation for the year in the first year under coach?
My expectation is to just go in with a level mindset and just win games. Whatever that takes, I'm willing to do. So if I only have to score 1 touchdown a game and we win, then that's fine with me.
What about you, Vaughn?
Yeah, like my teammate said, I really am looking forward to, seeing what my teammates and peers can do. And my expectation from them is always going to be excellence. If you're going to get out there and not know what you're doing, somebody got to take you out, me included. And I really want to put into perspective on making the team good, and I really want to flip the, what's the word?
Script.
Yeah, I want to flip the script around, man. I want people to come to the Hazel Green games and be like, oh man, I can't wait to see them play. I'm tired of hearing, man, Hazel Green's got to go play another game on Friday. I want to hear them I want to be excited about playing this next team. I want them to be excited, draw them into that, gameplay on August 23rd.
Talk about the leadership part of that, and you as a senior and your leadership style in the room. Are you willing to get up in the jaw of a guy and tell him the way it has to be?
Absolutely. Say if my teammate's not doing right, I'm not going to, get in his face and yell at him, but I'm going to be like, hey, man, what's been going on? You need to get your focus right. You need to, whatever you got going on, man, let's talk about it. Let's get you back in focus. Let's get you back in the game. Because, everybody on this team has a job to do. Everybody's a part of the game.
Right.
We can win or lose without you, plain and simple. And if we got to go to the extent to make sure that you be great, then I'll do it if I have to.
And as a quarterback, Austin, I would think that from your standpoint, leadership goes beyond the field. You got to be a leader in the hallways. You got to represent the program, at school, not be a guy that's in trouble and so on and all those types of things. Just talk about how you accept that responsibility as being the man.
As you said, it takes, a lot because, I got to be in charge of everything. I got to know everything that my teammates do, everything that I do, and I have to understand everything. And, it's really better, because my teammates and coaches trusting me to that ability. So, it's really better when they could grasp it and, understand it with me and help me go farther.
Well,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, well, Coach, you're moving to the high school level. I know you're familiarizing yourself with the schedule, which is basically already done, 6A Region 8. But what are your thoughts on it?
It's definitely a challenging region. You got some really good teams in there, Gadsden City, and some of the teams that are a little bit more local in Huntsville. Those are all going to be challenging games. But Gadsden City, Southside, Lee High School, Jemison, Buckhorn. Those are all going to be games that we're going to have to bring our A game to. Those are going to be games that we can't make mistakes in. We're going to have to play an elite level of football where we execute, we play fundamentally sound, and we minimize our mistakes. And, my goal is to just get our kids to play their best game every Friday night, and we'll let the chips fall wherever they may. We're not going to make predictions of how many games we're going to win, all that kind of stuff, but you will see a better Hazel Green team. You're going to see a team that's going to play fast, play physical, is going to be fundamentally sound, and you better tie your shoes up and tuck your jersey in when you come play Hazel Green.
There you go. Coach Fred Ferrer taking over at Hazel Green, bringing along a couple of guys with him. Guys, we really appreciate it. I really appreciate his styling and showing how important this is and the way you guys represent it, and Coach, you as well. And we wish you the best of luck this season.
Good luck, Vaughn. Good luck.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, we'll get a break in here. When we come back, we'll see who's up next. It's like a smorgasbord here, but we'll see. We got a few more teams to get to. Again, taking you right to 3 o'clock as well. It's the Tom Abraham Show. We're on location at the Fleming Roofing and Restoration High School Media Day on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.